You can't escape the responsibility. Yes, hallucination. Ask who agrees with him. Fine, fine. There is a person who says that it's a hallucination, and what about others? Just try to explain. The reflection in mirror is an illusion or hallucination. I am not going to take vote on this point. I want to have argument, solid argument. If it is illusion, why it is illusion? If it is hallucination, why it is hallucination? Or if it is neither illusion nor hallucination, then what kind of experience is it? So argue with him. I am not the party. He is the party. No, you have to face that argument. This is a class of philosophy, so we must argue. The more we argue, more we will be able to grasp the philosophy. That's interesting. Fine. Pardon? You take the stand that it is both hallucination, some illusion. Acha. So you consider logic is not reliable. Acha, that's the point. Yeah. So you say it is neither illusion nor hallucination, it's a real experience. That's good point. So fourth point. Now think of this. Take this example. Virtual image. That's fifth or fourth point. I just want to explain you how the different schools of Vedanta disagree with each other on the same issue. So there are several theories about the truth, and no theory can be taken as an absolute theory, an absolute narration of the truth. Every theory is proposing its theory with the given means of knowledge provided to it, or the means of knowledge which it has presumed to be reliable. About illusion or hallucination or something else. God may be absolute, God may be relative. I will give you example. No, I will give you example. Because in the name of God, there are several names. Sometimes we call Bhagwan. Bhagwan means whom every person is devoted to. It's a relative, not absolute. When we call Bhagwan, God as Paramatma, Paramatma is a relative term. There are several Atmas, there are several ministers, out of which one is Prime Minister. So there are several souls, out of which one is a prime soul, that is Paramatma. Now I am not pretty sure about the etymology of God. The foolish etymology here we in India propose. God means generator, operator, destroyer. Our English person will get mad after listening this etymology of God. That's not the meaning by God. God must have some other etymological root. But when we consider deity or divinity, so divinity is always in relation with the mundane character. In contrast of the mundane, it is divine. So it's a relative. So which synonym you want to use for God to claim the absolute character of God? The moment you say Parabrahma, Par means there is some upper. Again it becomes relative. So, pardon? Yes, hallucination. No, about the reflection you are asking. Yes, I am coming to that point. In between he asked the questions, I was dealing with this question. So beside the perception, illusion and hallucination, there is one more category of knowledge, and which category is regarded in philosophy and even in modern psychology as a conditioned perceptions. Conditioned perceptions. What do we mean by conditioned perceptions? It's a relative term. When we use conditioned perception, so in contrast of it, there must be some unconditioned perception. But then mind it, though few theories of philosophy hold the theory that there are some unconditioned perception. Even Buddhas take that stand, Nayayikas take that stand. As far as the question of Vallabh Vedant is there, we don't share that idea that there can be an absolute perception, all the unconditional perception. We believe that perception is a conditioned knowledge. It arises in some given condition. If that condition is not prevailing, the perception cannot arise. For instance, it is not caused merely by our sense organs. There are several factors. Light. If light is not there, you cannot perceive form, figure and color. If form, figure and colors are there, not there. If there is merely a light, you can't have a perception. If there are both light as well as form, figure and colors, but your eyes is not in a proper condition to receive that light, even then you will not have a perception. Some night blinds are there, some color blinds are there. You ask them, they cannot perceive in night. They cannot perceive certain colors. So they are color blinds. I am also color blind. I cannot differentiate between dark green and dark red. My eye does not differentiate between. In all other colors I can perceive. But when dark red and dark green, I get confused whether it is green or red. So some color blinds are there. So for those also you cannot perceive. And all these paraphernalias are perfectly in working order. But if your mind is absent, you won't be able to perceive. I remember a friend of mine, not friend of mine, a Vaishnava, who was disciple of some other Vaishnava. And that Vaishnava told us that when you are going to Brij, I'll give you send-off at Bombay Central. And I was just standing on this, outside the compartment, and his disciple came this way. I said, he does not know me, he does not recognize me. I said, must be not recognizing, because we have met several times before, but he couldn't recognize me. His guru when came, he said, I am not finding Shyam Baba. They said, oh, he's standing there. Both of them came, they both before me. So he was relying on his guru. Unless he confirms it, that this is Shyam Baba, he will not admit. In spite of looking at me, we saw each other eye to eye, but he didn't recognize me. It so happened, because of preoccupation of mind, that I will approach Shyam Baba only when my guru comes. So in spite of knowing that I was standing outside the compartment of frontier mail, he would not give any response, just as a third person. I said, what happened to him? But look at the situation. So where Upanishad, it is very beautiful. He said, Anyatra mana na shrunavan, Anyatra mana na pashvan. If your mind is going somewhere else, you cannot see, you cannot listen. Follow the point. And if you compile all these conditions together, so how many conditions are required to perceive something? And how perception can be absolute knowledge? Few philosophers have such childish approach, that perception is an absolute knowledge. All other knowledge are derived from the perception. But if you analyze the perception itself, perception can never give you absolute knowledge. It gives only a conditioned knowledge. If all these conditions are fulfilled, then only you can perceive something. If any condition is missing, object is there, eyes is there, light is there, everything was there, but he would not perceive us. So condition, it's not absolute knowledge. Perception does not give absolute knowledge, but there are some conditioned perceptions, of which reflection is one example of it. Another example is why I call it conditioned perception and why I don't include it in either illusion or hallucination. The only one point will clarify this. that even if you are blind, you take a photograph of reflection. Can it be taken or not? Photograph of reflection can be taken or not? It can be taken. So it's not a mental creation. It is really conditions, a particular type of condition in which light behaves as if light itself is an object. How you perceive any object? First of all, light falls on the surface of that object. It acquires the character of that object and it touches your retina and then you perceive it. It's a condition for perception. It's a condition of perception. And the same phenomena is replicated when mirror is put before light. So light acquires the form of the object and touches your retina and creates the perception. So it is not illusion. If it would have been illusion, it would have been mental phenomena, misinterpretation of the perception. There is no question of misinterpretation. You can take photograph of it. Photographically you can prove it. So yes, there is a reflection in mirror. For instance, when two tracks of railway line get converged at some point of the perspective, we consider it as an illusion of mind. It's not an illusion, it is a conditioned perception. Because even if you take photograph, it will appear in same manner. So there are some conditions of perception where failure of understanding, where the failure of the system of understanding is not involved, but the real condition is fulfilled in other way than supplied to us. That's why it creates such. Come on. We see scene on the screen of a theater movie. Is it an illusion, hallucination, or conditioned perception? Should I take vote? That too is a conditioned perception. Conditions are fulfilled of the perception. The perception which requires some conditions are fulfilled even without the object. Therefore you have that perception of movie. So we have to distinguish between the conditional perception, illusion, hallucination, and the real knowledge. Real knowledge also requires some condition, but those conditions are other, and we have to differentiate between the natural condition and artificial condition. So this is how the theory of causation is applicable everywhere in Praman, Pramay, Sadhan and Phal. And the several examples of the Vivartavad, etc., we can judge on the basis of the theory of causation, how knowledge is generated by the object and how object is generated by the knowledge. Even our knowledge generates the object. It's not the true. The object alone generates knowledge. Even knowledge generates object. एक बहुत सारो एग्जाम्पल યુરોપમાં 2-4 વર્ષ અગાઉ થયો તો ડિસ્કશન, મોટી ડિસ્કશન ચાલી હતી કે માછલીઓને ગોળ ટબમાં રાખે છે, એને કારણે માછલીઓને આખી દુનિયા ગોળ દેખાય છે. તો એનજીઓએ ઘોંઘાટ કર્યો કે માછલીઓના પરસેપ્શનને આપણે કરપ્ટ કરીએ છીએ. ઇટ્સ એ ટોર્ચર ઓન ધી ફિશિસ. ઘણા બધા એનજીઓ સામે આવી ગયા કે બંધ કરો અત્યાચાર માછલીઓ પર. જેમ ઘણા બધા એનજીઓ આજે કહેતા હોય છે ને કે જાનવરના ઉપર ટોર્ચર નહીં કરો, આમ નહીં કરો, તેમ નહીં કરો, ખાઈ જાઓ ભલે પણ ટોર્ચર નહીં કરો. પેટાવાલા એમ જ કહેતા હોય છે ખાઈ જાઓ એમાં એમને વાંધો નથી, ટોર્ચર નહીં કરો. એમ તે વખતે પણ ઘણા બધા એનજીઓ ઉભા થઈ ગયા કે આ માછલી ઉપર ઘોર અત્યાચાર છે માણસ દ્વારા કરવામાં આવતો, આ બોન્સાઈ ઉપર, પેડ ઉપર અત્યાચાર છે. ઘણી વખત હું છાપામાં વાંચું છું કે બોન્સાઈને નાના બનાવી દેવામાં આવે છે, પેડ ઉપર અત્યાચાર છે. કોણ જાણે પેડ ઉપર અત્યાચાર છે કે નહીં, પેડ માને છે કે તમે જ માની રહ્યા છો, એ નોબડી નોઝ ઇટ વેરી વેલ. પણ ઘણા વખત વિવાદ ચાલ્યો પછી એક બહુ મોટા સાયન્ટિસ્ટે એમાં ફોડ પાડીને કહ્યું કે તમે માછલીનો વ્યૂ ડિસ્ટોર્ટ કરી રહ્યા છો ગોલ્ડ ટબમાં મૂકીને, એ કયા આધારે કહી શકો? કેમ કે ટબની બહાર તમારો જે એક્સપિરિયન્સ છે એના આધારે ને. But tell me whether you have a right view of the world. પૃથ્વી ગોલ છે. ક્યાંય પણ મેદાનમાં જઈને જો તમને બધું ગોલ જ ગોલ દેખાશે.